F.A.B Boxing Podcast. I'm here, guy, hustleboss.com. I want to give a quick introduction. If you guys could introduce yourselves. My man Marcus Willis, Devin Jackson. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up? It's Marcus Willis.
And this is Devin Jackson.
F.A.B Boxing Show, Hustle Boss TV.
We here.
Gotcha.
We back.
We know you all guys are real boxing people, and we have to talk about some of these fights that have been going on. First off, Demetrius, do we call him Andrade? He fought, beat Luke Keeler, TKO in the 9th round. What do you think of his future?
I think he's got a very good future. I keep saying I'm eager to see him fight Canelo, mainly because I want to see what style and what way he's going to approach. Lately, he's been very wild. He's just coming straight at these guys because they're not on his level. But I think if he fights a guy like Canelo, he's going to have to tighten up a lot and be a little more composed. But I think he's got tools to give Canelo problems and possibly beat Canelo.
Yeah, man. I've known Andrade, in the amateurs we came up together. We never fought, but he was always, one of the elite fighters. And we even, talked about fight. Like, we always wanted to fight each other. Just because we knew our caliber, was elite. And he wanted to fight me because he thought that I was one of the best in the weight class and everything. And I wanted to fight him to see, where exactly I was at. But he has always been, like an elite fighter, sharp, very talented. But from seeing, and we haven't seen enough of him in the pros. He hasn't gotten the views that I think he deserves. I don't know what the reason is,
right.
But, a lot of guys are running from him or not fighting him. And honestly, looking at some of his fights recently and everything, I felt like he hasn't. I mean, he's not really progressed as much from the amateurs, into the pros. A lot of people are giving him a lot of accolades, or giving just beefing him up and everything. Mm-hmm. He's still talented, but I still see a lot of amateuristic, skills, and he has a lot of amateur fundamentals, or
Right.
just
habits, maybe.
Yeah, habits. Yeah, he still has those amateur habits. That's
right.
what I'm looking for. Tired, but yeah, he still has a lot of amateur habits to where I don't think he's ready for it, Canelo.
Right. But I think he's gotten away with it because no one's made him change.
Yeah, he hasn't really fought anybody at that level.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask that. I remember Andrade. I was in the Mayweather gym, and he would come occasionally. I was just always blown away by his talent. I always thought he's naturally one of the most gifted fighters, but he had inactivity. Now
Right.
he's fighting very often, but again, not against this top level competition. Is that going to hurt him when he fights a Canelo who's been fighting Jacobs and Golovkin and these high level guys? Like the fact that Andrade hasn't been fighting these elite level fighters, will that hurt him?
I think it will hurt him because he's so used to fighting these other
Right.
guys who aren't gonna bring out
Yeah.
the best fighter that he is, and he's gonna get to a point to where he's not gonna grow. There's no growth fighting these B-level fighters.
No one's testing him, and he refuses to change these habits. And why change it? No one's made him.
Exactly.
So it's definitely going to hurt him, going from this level up a level or two.
Hey,
Look who somebody just walked in here, Quentin Willis.
got my brother Quentin in the building.
Now, as we keep along, him against Canelo, how does that fight go? What does he bring to the table that could trouble Canelo?
Well, he's rangy. He's always
Right.
been a rangy fighter. He has a lot of range. He's elusive. He's long, and he's tall. So he's a lot taller than Canelo, and he has speed. But still, I don't think he's ready for a Canelo fight right now because he's been consistently fighting these B-level fighters.
Right. Based off of his last couple performances, I see him lunge a lot. He's very open and very wild. A counter shot can knock him out. He's got to be very careful in that fight. Got to change some things.
Got you now. We got another guest who just joined us here, professional fighter Quentin Willis. Give a quick introduction to the viewers, my man.
4 months, born and raised. I'm a little, 4 months, born and raised. 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 4 months, born and Off Morocco, I get hit in the head on the regular. That's about it.
You got deep boxing history. How many amateur fights you had?
I got, I think like 80, it was 88, 89 amateur fights, 17 pro fights.
Good stuff. Now, what do you have any opinion on Demetrius Andrade? You know, he fought recently. How would he do against Canelo, for example?
I honestly think Canelo don't want that fight.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
He's been calling him out since '54.
Yeah, I don't think Canelo want that fight. I like to see it personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Canelo want that.
Yeah.
Got you. Now, you know, on that undercard, Demetrius Andrade undercard, really interesting fight. Joseph Diaz beat Tevin Farmer by decision. He had a nasty cut. He overcame it. Tevin Farmer didn't seem to be himself, but what was your opinion, everybody's opinion on that fight?
First, I want to start off by saying congratulations. We can't take anything away from what Diaz did, but I do feel that Tevin Farmer was very unfocused, and Diaz showed up and did what he was supposed to do. Marcus, I know what you're thinking. Behave.
Okay, I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, congrats to Joseph Diaz because he definitely, went in there and took it to Tevin Farmer. Tevin didn't fight like he normally fights.
Right.
He wasn't the Tevin Farmer that we are used to seeing, and I don't know how Joseph Diaz outlasted. Like he was in that fight for a long time with that cut.
10 rounds.
Since the second round.
We got to give kudos to his cut man and his
It was
corner
working some magic.
because that was a nasty cut. That cut happened in the second round, and look, his eye was about to split open.
Yeah, like his whole eyelid was just a cut.
Yeah, that it was nasty. I don't know how I don't know how Tevin didn't capitalize on that cut.
Yeah.
And that fight should have been stopped.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch it, Quentin?
Nah, I missed it.
Man.
I seen the highlights of it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how my opinion on the whole fight. I didn't see the whole fight. I seen the highlights. Yeah, but
Joseph
I
Diaz.
seen Tevin Farmer was going back and forth about something totally different. He wasn't before this fight. He was talking about who was he arguing with?
Was it Tank?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah,
and
him
Tank
and
going
Tank
back and
been
forth.
going at
Yeah,
it.
He been on it with him, but no, I missed the fight though. Yeah.
Yeah, Tevin, he smothered himself. Normally
Wow.
he has very good footwork and very good range, and he can box from
His
the outside.
defense was even limited in this fight.
Yeah,
It was strange.
he smut like he was going in like hugging and holding, and just he didn't allow himself to get off,
And Diaz was on go the whole time.
Yep.
Like it was.
and he was throwing
Yeah.
bombs. And if Diaz had a really good punch,
Tevin
if he
would've
could
been
crack,
asleep.
yeah, he would have put him out.
Yeah.
He would have put him out.
I don't even sound like Tevin.
Not at all.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. 'Cause
Not at all.
I'm a fan of actually his footwork.
Yep.
I
And
do
it
know
didn't
he
show.
complained about his hand in the first
Yeah.
round. I don't
Yeah.
know if that was a cause or what, but he did complain about his hand after that first round.
Now, what about, should they rematch? Should Diaz fight a guy like Miguel Berchel, Jamel Herring? I mean, what about the future of both guys?
I think he's a good fighter. That was his third chance at a title. Even when he fought Gary Russell, he held his own.
Yeah.
He just had that inexperience.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he can take it places. If he rematched Tevin and Tevin came back and became the Tevin we used to see,
Yeah.
I think it'll be a different story. So if I were him, I would try to avoid that
Mm-hmm.
and just go a different route.
Yeah. What
Take my
title?
time
What
with it.
title was that?
IBF.
Yeah.
I mean, if there isn't a rematch clause in,
Yeah.
JoJo should run with
Just
it.
bounce. Yep.
Run with it.
Good shit. Now, one guy that they Tim Farmer been interested in fighting, might not be fighting him soon. Gary Russell Jr.
Right.
returns this weekend versus Tugsat Nyambayar. On the undercard, Cuba's Guillermo Rigondeaux takes on Liborio Solis. What do you guys think about that?
That's a tough name to say. That's what I think about it.
Yeah.
Rigondeaux dropped back down in weight though, didn't he?
118 years.
Yeah, he should be there. I don't think he should
Well,
ever win as heavy as he was. Before.
Rigondeaux has a sleeper. I mean he gonna get rid of this dude.
Yeah.
It's just
That's a stay
a
busy
tune-up fight. Stay busy
Yeah.
fight. Yeah. This dude don't have enough experience.
I think it's a practice.
He's
for
not
him
a puncher.
to see if he can still hold that weight. And
Yeah.
not be- yeah.
Yeah.
Now Gary Russell and Tugsakit is gonna be a pretty good fight.
Yeah. He's got a good fight.
Tugsakit, he does, he comes to fight.
Very
He's
strong
tough.
guy. Yeah.
You know? But get Gary Russell is Gary Russell. He has
Super speed.
great footwork, great speed,
Mhm.
great power.
Do Do you wish we saw more of Russell? He seems to fight once a year. He just doesn't call out these names. He could be right there, though. If you look at his talent, you want to see more of this guy. You know, what's going on with him?
Yeah, didn't he actually just call? Who did he call out? Tank not so long ago.
Yeah, he did. Do you think it's promotional issues or what? Because if you look at the talent he has, he should be able to fight anybody. They should be able to make those fights happen.
I'm confused by Gary Russell anyways. It's like 7 to 9.
And his little brother fighting on the undercard.
The funny thing, yeah, Gary, what's his?
Gary Antoine Russell.
Antoine Russell.
Yeah.
Like all of the brothers, they're all named Gary Russell, but the dad isn't Gary Russell.
What?
I didn't know that.
So yeah.
I just knew. I remember
They're-
seeing him in
They're,
the amateurs with all the
so
same-
they're named after their granddad.
Oh,
The
gotcha.
dad isn't a Gary. Like my dad was actually joking with him. I think one of them was Gary Russell the third, one of them Gary Russell Jr. So he's like, oh, so that's your daddy. Your brother's your daddy. That's how his name basically. But yeah, all of the boys are Gary Russell.
That's terrible.
You know, Gary Russell, his only loss, I believe, is to Vasil Lomachenko.
Mhm.
Right.
Can he go to 130 and be competitive against guys? I mean, can he fight the Tank Davises? You know, I mean, what do we want to see from Gary Russell?
Man, honestly, I think Gary can go to any weight class and dominate.
Pete.
I mean, like I actually roomed with Gary in the amateurs, you know, at some national tournaments and everything. But I was in 2008, I think it was the Olympics that he was at, where he didn't make weight and he passed out. He passed out in the room. That's why he didn't compete. I was banking on Gary to be that gold medal, you know, because he definitely had the talent to do it.
What stood out about him back then to you? What did you see in him?
Man, Gary was just sharp. He was quick, and he could punch. Like everything that he did, you know, was on point.
What did he fight? 123 or something like that?
In the amateurs, Gary fought, I believe, 112 or 118.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Gary got 118.
what's your boy from Ohio?
Rashid?
Warren. Rashid was at 106.
He was at 112. Remember he fought Derek at 112.
Okay.
He must have
I think he was
moved up.
fluctuating.
Yeah,
so
he
no,
bounced
yeah.
between
Gary was
106
at
and
118
Yeah.
because there was a weight class apart.
Okay.
Yeah, but Gary definitely like he everything that he did was perfect. Like I seen him like knock guys out at that lower weight class, and I've seen him just out punch, just out blast people. His speed is tremendous, and like Gary is an elite fighter. So I could see him at any weight class. I was surprised that when he got beat by Lomachenko, we didn't know who Lomachenko was at the time.
Especially after coming after that fight when he got roughed up by Salido like that.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to pull that off.
Yeah,
I was like, this is a mismatch. Like,
Yep.
you can't do that.
Yeah. But that's what always impressed me with Gary.
Yeah.
He was just, he was an elite fighter.
Got you. Weight class north of that, Ryan Garcia is one of the most popular fighters in boxing. He has a huge following. People are mixed on his actual ability. Some people see a lot of potential, others not as much. What do you think of Ryan Garcia? He returns on February 14th against Francisco Fonseca.
I think he's very talented, and I think it just takes some experience to use it in the right way. He's slowly getting better, but he's got a real fight on his hands this time.
Yep.
Now we're going to see where his talent is going to take him, What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know the Francisco. I don't know, man. He talk a lot, man. He's like, I guess
Garcia.
he's the new poster boy for
Golden Boy.
Golden Boy.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's, to me, I kind of like, all right, let me see him fight somebody.
Right.
When I see him fight somebody, and I can actually make a valid opinion on him.
I think now it's sink or swim, Fonseca has fought Tevin Farmer,
Gervonta.
and he fought Gervonta Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, Fonseca, he has some caliber opponents on his resume.
It's a real test now.
But Ryan Garcia, his last fight, he had a knockout. A fashionable. What was it, first round knockout, right?
Ryan has power.
Yeah, he has power.
Yeah, he's got power.
And he fought a guy that was 20-1 or 20. No,
Philippines, yeah.
21-1. So he fought somebody that had a good
doubt that
record.
He can fight at
Yeah.
all.
Ryan has a lot to prove.
Right.
Because he does have a lot of. He's not ready for he might be now. What we seen in Tank his last fight.
Right.
But him calling out Tank at that time, you know, it wasn't gonna happen.
Oscar
It wasn't gonna
wasn't
happen.
gonna let that
Well, Oscar wasn't gonna let it happen, and if it did happen, it wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
But he definitely has a test right here because Fonseca ain't no joke.
Right.
Like, he comes to fight. He's long, rangy, awkward, and he can crack it. He gonna go in there to
win.
inflict pain. Like, I've always loved watching Fonseca fight. He's entertaining, and he goes like he's a TV friendly fighter.
I gotta watch him.
Yeah.
Stuff now. Ryan Garcia, last thing on him though. Would you like to see him? He fought Devin Haney in the amateurs, for example. Is that a rematch worth building up to? I mean, who would you like to see Ryan Garcia fight?
In the future, yeah, but right now, no. I don't think he can hang with
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't think he can hang with Devin right now.
The stove too hot on that.
Right. They got to build him up first, let him make some accomplishments, and then take a chance on it.
All right, that being said, then, one guy they're looking to build him up against is Jorge Linares. On the undercard, looks like he's fighting Carlos Morales, a veteran.
Right.
Jorge Linares, how much do you think he has left? Would he be a good test for Ryan Garcia?
I think he'll be a damn good test. You know,
I like
Linares, he
Linares.
can fight. The man has some serious accomplishments. He I don't know if I'll put Ryan in there with him right now.
With Linares?
Yeah.
No, Linares will mess him up right now.
He's solid, man. He's
Yeah.
solid. He dropped Lomo, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure
Yeah,
did.
with
Yeah,
a
he dropped
straight
Lomo.
right hand,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 I mean, he was firing in the exchanges. Just caught him. He could punch. He could fight.
Yeah.
It definitely make. Yeah, that'd be a good fight for him. I mean, I don't know. I like to see it.
I would say by the end of the year,
Yeah.
maybe start pushing for that. Maybe.
Well, we got to see what he does with Fonseca right
Fonseca
now.
first, yeah.
Crawl for
Yeah.
the walk.
Exactly. We talking way because this is one where we don't like look into the future. This has to happen before we can like really see what's gonna go on in the future for Ryan Garcia.
True.
One fight we didn't mention, Mike Dallas got stopped by Ordenis Ugas. Ugas, you know, he gave Sean Porter a great fight. Many felt he won. He beat Omar Figueroa after that. He's really at a high level, but he's overlooked, and he's what you call high risk, low reward.
Right.
What do you think of your Dennis Ugas at welterweight?
Solid.
Ugas is very solid, sharp. You know, just the fundamentals of those Cuban fighters. He has it. He possesses it all.
And he's so physically strong.
He awkward, comfortable. And that's, I think, the biggest thing is he know where he want to be in the ring, and you watch like his little. He got subtle movements that you don't even know what he doing. Like sometimes, pay attention. He'll step left when he know he want to throw his right hand, and he step left. So now you looking to your left, and he dragging a shot behind it. He real smart. He a technically smart fighter.
Yeah.
We watched him fight in New York. Who did he fight? It was a boring fight, but he did everything to win the fight. It was just
he just methodically
really,
broke. I forget who he fought, but he just methodically broke him down. Yeah. You know what I like about him? Them long socks, them high knees.
He be rocking them socks, don't he?
He be rocking them socks.
He actually a pretty big welterweight too.
He is.
He's massive, bro.
Yeah.
He is
He's
massive.
a huge welterweight.
We saw him against Porter. What about him against guys like Spence, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, even?
He can fight with him.
He can fight with all of them.
I think he gives them all some problems.
I think he's he's top 5, top 6. You know, welterweights.
Yeah.
You know, easy. Maybe top 4.
Incredible fighter, man.
You know, I would like to see him and Danny Garcia.
That's a good
I
one.
think he'll give.
He'll give Garcia trouble.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially with Danny being methodical.
Yeah. That would be a great fight. You know, because Danny's flat-footed.
Very.
Both of them don't really. It's not a high punch output fight.
But they make them
They
count.
both timing fighters.
Yeah, they're
right?
both timing fighters.
Yeah.
You know, so it would be a scientific fight to watch.
Right.
They
Yeah.
probably won't open up till like round 7.
6, 7.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got you. Good stuff. Now, one fighter who's really on the rise, IBF super middleweight champion Caleb Plant.
I like that guy.
He's
Sweet
coming
hands.
to a high level, just great mentality he has. He's coming off an explosive knockout of Mike Lee.
Right.
He returns February 15th against former WBA interim champion Vincent Fagenbutts. I've been checking
That's
him
an
out.
ugly
Big and
name.
butts.
Fagenbutts.
That's why he can fight. He can fight because of that name.
Right.
And,
He was forced to be strong.
I've been checking him out on YouTube, and he's strong. He has some punch to him. Is it enough to derail the undefeated champion?
I think he's strong, and he's also a big target. That's the way I feel about this matchup. I don't see anything special. I don't think he'll be able to deliver the strength that he has to Caleb Plant to really give him a big problem.
So what Sweet Hands gonna do?
He gonna put hands on him.
He gonna
Jimmy.
put them finger in his butt. Hey, what you call finger butt, bro?
Oh my God. Man, like that name is pretty close to something else.
What's his name? What you call him? Don't bite your tongue now.
Oh man, this is bad.
Sweet Hands, finger and butts.
Hey, we was talking about it.
What Caleb Plant? How good do you think he is? Is he the best at 168? Does he beat guys like David Benavidez, Callum Smith? I mean,
I think he is the guy to take over at 168 right now. I think there's some good challenges for him, but I think he'll overcome them all.
Dude, remind me of I mean, not even his boxing skills supreme, but he give me the confidence and the demeanor of Kelsey, the tight end for the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just they swag. It's like
Yeah, he controls
Yeah.
the man.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
he's solid, man. I like watching him fight. I don't see nobody really beating him in his weight class.
Yeah, Caleb's sharp. He's really sharp.
I would love to see the Benavidez fight because
I would-
Benavidez
right.
is his best. I think that'd be a great fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now February 22nd is a big pay-per-view. This sport of boxing is really one of the biggest fights to be made. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, the rematch. First fight they fought to a draw. What's going to happen in part two?
Terrible decision the first fight.
Very terrible
I
decision in
agree.
the first
I
fight.
agree. I think we all agree. Wilder lost that one.
It's I don't see how anybody can look at it differently. It's either Wilder gonna get outboxed or he gonna knock somebody
him
out.
Right.
Yep.
There's
That's
no
all it
other
is.
way to look at it.
Ain't no in
Yeah.
between. And
Yeah.
the crazy part is when you look at his past 10 fights, almost all those guys have been more talented, more skillful, but it's just that power, man, is real.
That's it. I mean,
All he gotta do is set it
Ortiz
up.
was outboxing
Right.
him easy.
Yeah,
It just take one setup, boom, and you out.
got some ungodly power.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. My goodness.
But
Him and James Brown was talking to the devil.
But yeah, so the thing is with this fight, Wilder and Ortiz, I mean not Ortiz, Wilder and Tyson Fury. I don't know if Tyson can outbox him for another 12 rounds.
Right.
You know, I definitely would want to see it because I think he deserves. You know,
Right.
he definitely deserves.
got
He
in
should.
bad shape.
He should be the king on the throne right now. But Wilder's power is tremendous to where another 12 rounds of dodging that is a nightmare.
Right.
And you know, you see what he just did to Ortiz. He got outboxed for 6 rounds and was getting outboxed in the 7th round.
Right.
And he really set up. I have to give him, you know, some kind of, you know, kudos or whatever, that he set up his right hand, you know, with some real good boxing.
Yep.
And he, you know, he got rid of him with a straight right hand, but he set it up beautifully. It's just Deontay is
He's a freak.
Yeah, he's a freak of nature when it
He's a
comes to
one
power.
and done. There will never be another one.
Yeah.
That's it.
I would like to see Fury be able to stay on his toes and outbox him, you know, for another 12 rounds. But
That's
can
a
he
hard
do it?
task.
Yeah.
Like, that right hand gonna touch you at some
yeah,
point.
he gonna get hit regardless, you know. He
But he can box so good though.
He-
That's
he-
why I was like,
listen. He boxed him so great that
Yeah.
first fight.
Well, let's hope he got another
I
Undertaker.
guess it's
get
like
up,
if
man.
he gets hit with the right again, is he gonna get up this time?
That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
He might not want to.
He got up last time like
He
the
got-
Undertaker, man.
Well, shoot, the first fight he got dropped twice. The first knockdown shouldn't have been scored a knockdown.
Right.
He got hit in the back of the head.
Yeah.
I felt like he won 11 out of 12 rounds. And if he didn't, he won 10 out of 12. So clearly should have won the fight. I don't know how they scored it a draw. He get clipped like that again. If it happens early,
Timber.
Yeah. How your
Yeah.
legs gonna handle it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
even if you get up, how your legs gonna
Yeah.
hurt, you know.
I think if he gets dropped this time, Wilder going for broke.
yeah.
He getting him
Oh
out
yeah.
of there.
Oh yeah.
right away.
Windmill.
Right.
He windmill anyway.
I saw him windmill and hit a guy with his wrist, and the guy just he went. It's crazy. It's crazy power.
Yeah,
I think
man.
it's important. You think we might see Fury try to get Wilder's respect a little bit, try to maybe hurt him a little
He
bit?
actually did hurt him.
He heard him, and actually Fury said he want to knock him out
I don't think that's a good. I don't think he should go in
with
and-
that
and-
intention.
Right.
Yeah.
And risk getting hit with that right. Sometimes he just let that thing go like Torres just that'll be it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a heavyweight. It's possible, you know.
Right.
At heavyweights, it's possible. One punch could change a fight.
Right.
On
either end.
Yeah, they possess the power to end the fight just like that.
It's not like you can't get hurt. He's been hurt a couple.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
times. Ortiz had him out
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Fury had him hurt. Not
Eric
as bad as
Molina had him.
Ortiz. Who?
Eric Molina.
Yeah, he did. He
Yep.
did. Yep.
And also, a local fighter, Quinn, you have been working with him. We got to mention his fight on the Caleb Plain undercard. Overlooked is Bryant Perella is facing Abel Ramos.
Yeah.
That's an excellent fight. Abel Ramos, an all-action fiiter.
I actually looked him up. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
think
on
of
Fox Sports, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe on undercard. Caleb Plain undercard. What do you think of that matchup?
Abel is actually a good boxer, man. He's straightforward. He gonna hit you and he gonna hit you. But dude, I've been working with Brian. Brian is sharp right now. The first couple of times sparring with him, I was trying to get my bearings right, and then I started moving, and he would tell me like, "Look, I'm getting the best work from you, and when you do this, it throws me off and makes me think." And now he's doing the stuff that I was doing to make him think, making me think. So it's like, God, dog, man. And I told him after we sparred, I'm like, man, you fight ready right now. You are fight ready. It's like you doing the stuff, everything you should be doing. I'm sitting there mad, like, God, just want to punch you in the face. But he ready to go. Yeah, he ready to go.
What's it like in boxing though? The camaraderie you have sparring somebody like that, is it like a brotherhood kind of in some ways, the respect you have for each other?
I feel like I'm getting older, man. I not in the sense of like training or working or my timing is coming back. That's where my timing, my eyes. I always had good eyes. I see stuff. I'm working on stuff. But as far as like being in the gym with people, I tell everybody now. I'm like, I talk to him. I talk to Calvin, Coach Mike. I say, hey man, I know I'm getting older because when it's time to leave, I'm like, hey, I love y'all. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody how I feel about them, and we good. It's family more than we trying to knock each other's heads off. We still do that, but it's family.
Good stuff. Now also on that undercard, the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder undercard. There's some fights coming up. Amir Aman's on the undercard. Gerald Washington's on the undercard. Sabrio Matisse, the guy who unfortunately, Maxim Dadashev passed away.
Right.
Hit in that fight. He's gonna be on the undercard. What names are you looking for on February 22nd on the undercard?
The guy who fought Dadashev.
Yes.
He's he can go. He
Yeah, that dude is sharp.
He a
Yeah.
monster.
That dude is sharp.
And I was looking forward to Gerald Washington, but he's sometimey, man. Sometimes he looks really good, and other times he just looks a little mediocre. And he's a good boxer. He can box. I will give him that. He was beating Wilder, and then Wilder cracked him with that right, of course. And
Isn't the other heavyweight that had the title?
Charles Martin.
Charles-
Right, Charles Martin,
Lost
yeah.
to Anthony Joshua.
I think he'll beat Charles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on that card too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big
Yeah,
heavyweight
because he's
card.
fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting Jared Washington. That's an interesting fight.
This is February
February
22nd.
22nd in Las
Yep.
Vegas.
Didn't he start like a weed store or
Something like
you
that.
got-
He's very happy
he's-
with his money. I don't know how much he got paid by Eddie Hearn, but he's happy.
He said he got a title. We going all the way up.
You said Amir Mom is on the
Amir
Yeah,
Imam.
definitely. He's fighting a good fight against Javier Molina, one of
Oh.
the Molina brothers.
Okay.
That's an interesting
That's a
fight.
good fight.
And a big thing from Iman, if he wins that fight, he could. I don't see this on the list, but this is a fight we got to talk about. There's discussions going on for a fight between Maurice Hooker and Regis Prograis.
I like Regis.
What do you
Man,
think
that's
of
a
that
good
matchup?
fight.
That's a hell of a fight, man.
That's a good fight.
Regis he's strong.
Crafty.
He's very, very strong. And he'll just eat a shot just to give it. He's crazy. He ain't rap type. Tell him.
I've
Country
seen
songs.
Hooker a couple times. He can
Right.
box. But yeah, Pro Grace is
And that's the
relentless.
threat, being able to box.
Yeah.
Because Regis gonna come. He'll box a little bit, but once he land that power on you, he's want to keep going.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he
So
handles
it's
it.
a boxer versus puncher fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you see the fight with him and Josh Taylor?
Nah, I
did.
don't think
It's
I did.
excellent, yes.
I was surprised Josh Taylor held up. He bit down and took it to him.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
difference I saw was his size a little bit was kinda
Right.
almost the difference.
Yeah.
Skill wise, they was like right there with
Mhm.
each other. But to close out February, there's a real interesting fight. Mikey Garcia, Jesse
Right.
Vargas. Mikey Garcia got blanked by Earl Spence. Not his best performance. Jesse Vargas, he'll fight anybody.
Right.
Tell me about this matchup.
I think it's a good matchup, but I think after this, Mikey should go back down and stop playing in that
Yeah.
shark
Yeah.
infested water.
Yeah,
But
That's exactly what it is
right.
for him.
yeah. See, he can't hold that weight. You can't expect him to be.
I mean, and just with
Yeah.
Jesse has a clear size advantage over him. Jesse's long. If he hits you with the good right hand, he can have you in that Timothy Bradley stage, like
Yeah.
drunk all over the place.
Mhm.
He ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah, I mean Jesse is probably the fighter that Mikey should go after in
Right.
that weight class,
It's
other than
winnable.
anybody else. But it's I mean, and we've talked about this before.
Mhm.
It's done. It's done after that.
Yeah.
He shouldn't stick around after this fight. He can win this fight against Vargas, but go back down to 40.
Mhm.
There's no reason for him to be there.
Nah.
At all.
Even when he moved up, I'm like, okay, he just taking a paycheck and moving back down. That's
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't really rank him for the fight with Earl Spence. He did a great job, but
He wasn't
it
supposed to be there.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do? Win a fight and go fight a Sean Porter?
Yeah.
Nah, don't
He got
play.
ran through.
Don't play.
He got ran through.
Got you. Any other thoughts coming up? Anything else on your guys' mind?
Man, I want to touch on Brian's fight a little more.
Yeah.
The dude he fighting
The dude,
actually
yeah.
fought Regis.
Yeah, he
when
fought
they was
Pro Grace.
smaller. He fought,
And he fought Ivan Baranchik,
The
who
dude
had the
fought a lot of
IBF in the
people, man.
tournament.
I think
yeah,
that's going to be a great fight for people to view because you got two good welterweight fighters
Mhm.
that have some solid opponents on their resume. Brian's fought
Ugas.
Ugas
Yep.
and Louis
one from
Louis
Louis
Collazo.
Collazo,
He
yeah,
fought
lost
Louis
to-
Collazo, and who did
Abel Ramos
who did
fight.
Ramos fight?
He fought Ivan Baranchik and
He beat
Regis
Francisco
Progress.
Santana.
Right, he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and he's gonna come to fight.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be able to stand there with Brian because he starts off slow and he's very flat-footed. Ramos is. Brian's gonna be too elusive. If he doesn't get caught up in a fight, Brian's gonna
Brian
outbox him and
outbox him,
embarrass him.
Especially setting that pace early
Yeah.
and go from
Yeah.
there.
It's too much distance between the two.
Right.
And Brian is way more talented than than
Natural
Ramos is.
ability, yeah.
Yeah.
Way more natural ability.
Yep.
What about the winner? What kind of doors could that open?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
The problem is and that puts both of them. The winner is gonna be in the top 10 because
Yeah.
I think right now that's talks for
That's
for
at
big
47,
money
right?
fights.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
47.
at 47.
I'll tell you
the
who,
winner's gonna
who
be
the
in the
winner
top
should be
10.
matched against. Jerome Ennis. That's a hell of a matchup.
Yeah.
That
Have
guy
you-
can fight.
Yes, he can. You see how big he is?
I didn't-
Fast,
I
strong.
don't know how big he is.
Nah,
Naturally,
that kid,
but
he,
told
the
me
kid is
about him.
dangerous.
you told me about
Yeah.
it.
From
yeah,
Philadelphia,
he's solid.
right?
He's
Right.
definitely
Yeah,
solid.
he's gonna
man.
fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but what is he ranked though? He's not that high up.
He just had a fight, and he got a knockout. I'm not sure if he's in the top 10 yet.
Yeah, no.
Well, if he's as dangerous as y'all say he is,
Oh, he gonna
It's
get.
not
they
a
win
good
this
fight
fight.
for-
Well,
yeah.
it doesn't make sense because
Yeah,
he's
'cause
ranked
right.
lower.
Not
you know,
yet. Not yet.
It doesn't
Not-
help
not
their
yet
rank.
for-
It doesn't
for,
help their
Jerome.
ranking.
Yeah.
It doesn't help their. Why take that risk?
Right.
To fight a lower ranked
Lower
fighter.
board, yeah.
Yeah.
But keep an eye out for that dude, man. That dude a monster, man. He's a
Oh,
monster.
he definitely solid.
What's his name?
Jerome Ennis.
Jerome
Ennis.
Ennis.
Fair Ennis is his older brother who used to spar with
IS.
Triple G.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, he real tactical. Like
Yeah.
movement. I mean,
Southpaw,
sharp,
right?
Sharp.
Or is he righty?
He switches.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
He
Okay.
switches.
Yeah.
You got
look him up.
a stronger T-Bud?
And
T-Bud's better at it,
Uh-huh.
but this guy, he's very sharp.
Okay.
Very, very sharp.
Yeah.
Now, Quentin, another thing, I've been asking even on this podcast people's opinion for fighter of the decade from 2010
You
to
asked me
19.
that. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you that.
You asked me, and I
When
was
you're getting ready to
I
spar,
was getting ready to spar. I
we
was
have
like,
guys like Canelo, Klitschko, Pacquiao, Floyd, Golovkin, Canelo. I mean, who do you think 2010 through 19 should be fighter of the decade?
so many people. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I like T-Bud. I like Floyd. You also have to respect what's the other light heavyweight? The one that hit
Andre Ward.
Andre Ward. You gotta respect him. But man, that's a tough question, dude. That's a tough question. Fighter of the decade. I mean, obviously everybody remember Floyd just for the money, and you gotta respect the skills. He turned everybody's style sideways. And Floyd, honestly, ain't a natural 154 or 147
at all.
Floyd is small,
Yeah.
a really small dude. He was fighting out his weight class and making people look.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I might have to go with Floyd, but you can't. You got some tough mentions in there,
Yeah.
man.
I know. I went with Pacquiao because Pacquiao
The same
traveled
thing.
so many
Yeah.
weight classes up.
Yeah.
Starting at what 106, 108,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small as
You know,
can be.
Yeah.
up to 154, and he dominated. I mean, he has losses on his record, but he did what a champion does. He lost,
Came
he
back and
fought,
fought.
came back and won. And now with what Pacquiao has done at his age and still beating young elite fighters, I think he kind of solidified that fighter of the decade conversation.
I would pick Pacquiao if we were saying total boxing career, because it's been so long. He's accomplished so much in them weight classes. The last 10 years, he's been between 140 and 154. And he's done a lot, but he's lost almost the big fights that he's lost is kind of balanced out with the big fights that he's won.
Right.
But if you take his whole career, all the fights with he fought Morales too, didn't he?
Yeah.
He fought
Yeah, 3
Morales.
times.
He fought
Yeah.
fought
Barrera twice.
Barrera.
Rodriguez 4
Like
times.
now, but that was
Barrera was
That
last
was-
decade, I think.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he did career, I would Pacquiao hands down, because all these big fights and I just
Then it's like he started having a late comeback, then
Yeah.
another late comeback.
Yeah,
It's like,
like
man.
he hit cruise control, got a second win.
Yeah, definitely. Fountain of youth.
Yeah, he did.
I know Keith know about the Fountain of Youth. I feel bad for him after that.
Yeah.
I felt like he took that fight way too soon
Yeah,
after
too
that
early.
long layoff.
Yeah.
Like he took way too long of a layoff to come straight back and fight a fucking Pacquiao.
Right.
I think he didn't. I don't say he didn't respect Pacquiao, but he didn't believe Pacquiao was the Pacquiao that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He saw he thought
He
it was
thought
going to
he
be
was
an
gonna see an
age
aging
Pacquiao.
Pacquiao, yeah. Yeah.
But Pacquiao was looking good. He came off that win against Adrian Broner.
But
When-
Adrian Broner is always Adrian.
You
Broner.
never know what
can't
Adrian Broner
You
gon-
can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, well he looked good against Adrian Broner, but look at Adrian Broner. He-
Right, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
AB
he
like
hanging
pissing in
out.
the wind. You don't know what he gonna be. He gonna be threatening his own life, tossing money in a strip club or in the gym. Adrian say he in the streets now. He done.
That
You
boy.
never know.
my
Trying to find a brick right now.
Trying to find
But yeah, shoot, man, Pacquiao. I think he's done it. You know.
Yeah.
But of course Floyd. But Floyd fought a lot of people who were out of their prime or beaten, or he took way too much time for some of those fights to happen.
Yeah,
You know.
And honestly, you saying that is part of the reason why I say I put him in that, because he controlled his career. Most fighters
Yeah.
don't have no
He did.
control over what they're doing. So I use that as like in my decision making. I look at it like he actually did whatever he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you say he took the fights when he wanted them, yeah, but most of them wasn't out of their prime. He fought Canelo.
Canelo was young.
Canelo was,
Yeah.
huh?
Canelo was 22.
Yeah, that was Golden Boy's guy. You know what I'm saying? And
He fought
so-
Maidana. Maidana was a mug, bro.
And he fought
Yeah.
Madonna right
Yeah.
after Madonna pimp slapped his
A.B.
little brother. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he fought him twice just because of they
Right.
said like
Yeah.
we knew ain't no way Madonna gonna be able to outbox Floyd.
Yeah.
So
Right.
the first time you fought him, Madonna won 3 rounds. Most people don't win 2 rounds
Yeah,
with Floyd.
exactly.
And that's what was like.
Yeah.
You want me to fight him again? I'll do it again.
Yeah.
He
And
knocked
then
Floyd
it
tooth
looked
out.
close.
Shit. He knocked Floyd tooth out.
He did?
Yeah.
Tooth went flying.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Floyd sucked it up.
Yeah, Madonna a monster, man.
Yeah.
But I can't. He never was that weight, man.
Yeah,
Floyd
Floyd was little.
Like,
He-
like
yeah,
he
he's
would
too
come in
tight,
at a certain
yeah.
weight.
He would come in
like,
at
he come
49 and
small.
fight 54. Yeah.
And who do you know don't gain 10 pounds after the weigh-ins?
Right.
Yeah.
I remember he fought. Was it? What's the other Mexican guy? The one that Pacquiao had all the fights with.
Marquez.
Yeah, when he fought Marquez,
Beat him so
it
easy.
was at 50. Yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah, that
it
was
an
a
ugly
sparring
fight,
match.
But on top
Yeah.
of that, though, he lost the pound.
Yeah, he was
lost
little.
The pound, yeah.
He was little. Yeah, and he embarrassed Marquez. That was
He
a
said he
sparring
would,
match.
though.
Yeah.
And that was his first fight back.
Yeah. I mean, Floyd is like one of the best, if
Yeah.
not the best, to ever be in the ring. You can't deny his ability, his skill.
I would like to see more of T-Bud, though.
Yeah,
I like
I
to
think
see
he's got a
more.
long
Yeah.
career ahead of him.
Yeah.
He's got a chance to make some real statements in his career.
Yeah.
He just got to make those fights right now.
Yeah, T-Bud is the man at 47, I think.
can-
Oh, Quentin has a fight coming up.
Oh, tell
Uh-oh.
us about this, brother.
Yeah, man. I haven't fought in Florida in I think like 4 or 5 years. I'm fighting in Tampa,
What
March
day?
14th.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need everybody close. Get your tickets and come see me, man.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
What, wait, 154 or
154.
Okay, brother.
Yeah.
I saw you fight for sparring Pirelli, looking good, looking sharp. So wishing you the best of luck with that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Tell me
Yeah.
about your history in boxing, though. Like, how does sport come to your life, man?
I was kind of pushed into it. Yeah, my daddy make us get out the house. That's what we had to do. Like we was doing something. Yeah, that was it. We had no choice for nothing else. It was get out of the house. We played sports, and even when I didn't want to box, say I wanted to play baseball or something else, I play baseball. As soon as baseball over with, or if I don't got baseball practice, I'm at the gym. We had everybody at the gym. So you either get good at it or get used to having headaches.
What's been some of the most challenging things you've dealt with in your career?
Consistency. That's it. It's consistency. Obviously, anybody that's here or that knows us know the talent is there. I've always had talent, but the problem is fighting on a regular basis. I got a family, so I can't stay in the gym and accept any call. You know, I got to feed my family. And that's my biggest problem it's always been my biggest problem. I went 2 years without a fight, and then got called for a title fight. And then I went another year and a half without a fight. It's just consistency has always been the problem. Talent's always there. It's just now I'm getting older. It take a little longer to.
Why do you love it? Like, what have been some of the highlights for you?
Highlights?
Yeah, like
I
some of the
like
best-
punching people in the face, man. Shoot, I work in construction. You know how many rockheads I deal with on a regular basis? I like punching people in the face. I get off from work and say, okay, long day, retards. I go to the gym, and honestly, it's my outlet. It's the way I get by life, man. I love it. I couldn't imagine life without boxing.
Good shit. Best of luck, March 14th. We'll be watching.
Appreciate it, man.
So, what's the fight again? Fight information?
March 14th, Tampa. I don't have
It's
the
Rick
venue.
Glazer JCC.
Yeah. But everybody in here, they need if you close enough, come to the gym, grab your tickets, and come on up. Yeah. 3414 Cleveland Avenue, Team Willis Boxing.
Yeah, stop by the gym.
Absolutely.
You know, guys, one of the most exciting champions in boxing, Tank Davis. He, he's becoming this huge crossover star. But he's been caught up in some trouble, some bad news lately. I mean, what are you guys' opinions on that?
Bad.
Hey, like father, like son.
Right.
Didn't Floyd got in trouble the same weekend, right?
But the crazy thing about Floyd is, I don't think he put hands on the lady.
No, yeah, I seen a clip. I don't know if what exactly it was that happened with Floyd, but I think he had like some kind of strip-a-thon event. Listen, so I think the chick was trying to grab the money bag.
Well, she had the money bag.
She had the money bag. Floyd said, he snatched the money. He snatched the money bag, and like he just kind of like was brushing the girl off. He didn't do nothing to her. He just put his arm out, to keep her from getting back. And the security came in and like kind of separate him and everything. So Floyd shouldn't have gotten in any trouble.
Right. He controlled himself.
Yeah, he did.
Unlike Tank.
Yeah, Tank. On the other hand.
Right. We didn't see him hit her, but he did grab her up in a very violent fashion.
Yeah.
Strong. Very strong.
Some pimp
he
shit.
choked that lady up like that.
That's my hero.
And the messed up. This guy.
I'm gonna go home and grab my wife right now.
See, the difference is Tank did it in public.
Right. And the guy sitting next to her just leaned out the way like, this ain't my business.
Yeah.
The one dude
Nobody did nothing.
Yeah,
Nobody
I
did
saw,
nothing.
Yeah, all these people, and that was just
Like,
looking
But
like.
then again, it's perception too, man. She could have been going off and acting a fool, but you just didn't see that side of it. So I look at it like, regardless, he shouldn't have. He has a name, so he should have contained himself. But in the same sense,
regardless, name or not.
Yeah, we
just
don't
walk
know
away
what.
from that.
Yeah,
You should never let nobody get you to that point.
Yep.
I think what I heard was, that was his baby mama.
Right.
And I guess she was just out Super Bowl weekend.
Right.
Who was watching her kid?
She was being a
you know,
bad
Was that the
parent.
situation?
I that's what I hear. I'm not solid on that, but apparently the kid wasn't. The mom had child responsibilities, and she was, hey, it's turn up time, Super Bowl weekend.
Tank was like, nah.
Ain't no turn up time.
So
yeah,
he was just giving her Pampers.
Yeah,
man.
but
Pampers in the car for her. That's all it was.
and we don't know what happened after behind the scenes. If he was to do that in public, man, ain't no telling.
He turned himself in.
Yeah.
There are charges, so I don't know if behind closed doors he hit her or if the charges from him grabbing her like that.
Yeah.
I'm
But
not sure.
he got to control himself better.
Right.
Tank needs some counseling. He really
does,
like, cause
he
he done been in trouble multiple times. He needs some
I
counseling.
thought he was actually doing all right, man.
It seemed like he was getting better.
Yeah, because remember he opened a business and he got like a moving company or something. I think Chappelle, because he's
Yeah,
right. Tank. But I thought he was doing better, but I mean, I ain't seen him hanging out with Adrian Broner. That's a plus to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he ain't selling no bricks.
Yeah.
A.B. about bricks.
It's a waste of talent, man.
But yeah, Tank definitely need to get it together.
Yeah, that was
Because
uncalled for.
he got way too much on the line to be risking. The kid got a bright future if he gets his life in order and gets like you in a position. I mean, you're already a millionaire. You're in a position to make millions upon millions upon millions. Like, don't mess it up.
Right. And he's a likable person. Like, I've seen him, sitting down, talking with people. He's a cool guy. He just got to stay away from that type of activity.
Yeah. Yep. Get away from the bullshit.
It's hard when they're young, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell them nowadays.
Is he even 25 yet?
It's like 25, I think.
25.
It's real hard. I hope the best for him, but hey,
Gotta stop snatching up the money like that.
You make the bed you lay in.
Yep.
Yeah. But
get on that horse. You gotta ride it.
all right, we good? We out? We done? All right, cool. Thanks, bro, for coming through.
Yeah, man.
Good luck on your fight, bro.
March 14th, Tampa. You know, Tussle Boss TV presents the F.A.B Boxing Show.